Hi everybody, my name's Nadia Madi and today I want to talk about Wakanda, Black Panther, Wakanda, etc. But I want to focus on the place, Wakanda, because it's very interesting to me so far on social media, people talking about this utopian place. So I want to talk about the actual place, Wakanda. Now I am aware that this is a kind of like a sci-fi fantasy genre kind of Marvel thing, Marvel comic thing. I don't know how to typify it because I'm not, familiar with too much of the Marvel comics. But what surprised me was that people were very excited about the idea of Wakanda. And so much so that I know that it is a comic, I know that it's a novel, I know that it's a genre, I know that they are dealing with, the future and the past and merging it together and creating this space where there is an African utopian ideal. But my concerns were that people were focusing on the ideal so much that actually it's a little bit insulting. Because people are ready to, it's almost as though people would rather have this idea of an ideal, of an African ideal in the headspace rather than experience what the African ideals actually are in real life. So I ask you as you watch this, where is your Wakanda? I can tell you now, I know where my Wakanda is. I went to the Gambia this year and I went to an African literary sports and arts festival and that was my Wakanda. I had never been to the Gambia before. The Gambia was a beautiful space. It was everything that I hoped an African country could be. Not necessarily in terms of technology, but in terms of their people are not necessarily waking up and thinking, what am I going to eat today? Now, of course, we all wake up and think, what am I going to eat today? How am I going to survive? How am I going to get through this day? There are times when we all, no matter where you are on the planet, you're thinking that. But it wasn't at a level where it was so literal. Because I am from Sierra Leone and I can tell you it is literal in that country. And there I was in the Gambia where that part of thinking has kind of moved forward to a place where they, have their tourism industry. They have a dedicated space, a theatre. They have a theatre, a building where it is just a theatre. It's called the Ebujan Theatre. And that was so very symbolic to me because in Sierra Leone, the idea of I wake up in the morning, what am I going to eat, what am I going to drink, you cannot think about the art, you can't think about technology, you can't think about inventing things, you cannot be in that space as a mass of people because you need to know what you're going to eat and drink. Not saying that there haven't been Sierra Leoneans who haven't created inventions. We all know about Kevin Doe, the teenager. But the thing is, I went into a country where there is a balance. And that was my Wakanda, and I was in awe. I was in awe of the things that they did have, the things that they were developing. I was in awe of the creative space that they had provided for people to come and live there and for people to perform. And that was my Wakanda. Now, I'm hoping to go to Ghana next, and I'm hoping to go to Senegal. Senegal and Ghana are my next two places that I want to go to, and I want to go there and see if that is going to be one of my Wakandas. I know that Ghana is in a great space at the moment, and I know they're never going to look back. I mean, the things that are happening there are unbelievable. And then we have Senegal. I was in a taxi cab with the taxi driver in the Gambia. And the Gambian, this taxi driver, he said to me, he said, not literally, he didn't say this to me. He said, but Wakanda is in Senegal. If you go to Dakar, you will never believe what you see. He said, they're off the charts. He said, you need to go to Dakar. You need to go to Senegal. You need to go and see Senegal. He was in the Gambia telling me, go to Senegal. If you think Gambia is wonderful, go to Senegal. You're going to be amazed with what you see. And I was like, wow. And I came back, I was like, I have to go to Senegal. And actually, if you ever go to the Gambia, you can go to the Gambia and you just travel across the border and you can go to Senegal and you can go to whichever town or city you want to. It's amazing. 2 countries in one. I didn't go for long enough, so I couldn't do it. But next time I go to the Mboka Festival, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to these 2 places. I'm going to go to Senegal as well as the Gambia, visit 2 African countries. And I want to ask you, where is your Wakanda? Because the bottom line is, Wakanda is imaginary, but there is Wakanda in Africa. I mean, have you been to Rwanda? Do you know the things that are happening in Rwanda? Have you been to Kenya? Have you been to Tanzania? You haven't been to Tanzania. Have you been to the Zambia? You know, there are so many places that are Wakanda right now. Wakanda doesn't need to be some kind of imaginary space of what could be or what should be. There is Wakanda in Africa. There are different countries that have this Wakanda spheric kind of ideals. There are people who are Wakandians, who are making sure that their country is moving forward, who are doing everything to preserve, who are doing everything to catalogue, who are doing everything to build a future in their country. So where is your Wakanda? I know many Africans living in Africa know where their Wakanda is. It may be their home country or it may be somewhere else. They may have gone to another country and said, Jesus, this is my Wakanda, you know? But where is your Wakanda? If you're living in the diaspora and you're running around idealizing Wakanda, let me ask you, where is your Wakanda? Because Wakanda is real. There are many countries in Africa that are Wakanda. And I ask you this, do you have the guts to save your money and go find your Wakanda? Because if you don't, you can live in the ideal of Wakanda. You can live in that imaginary sphere. And then when it all dies down, what are you going to do? You're going to tell your kids about Wakanda that doesn't exist? Or you're going to take your kids to go and find out where is your Wakanda? And there are places in Africa that are cheap to go to. You have no excuses. Go and find your Wakanda. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope I've given you something to think about.